Hey guys, Chari5 here, and today we move on to Generation 5, Pokemon Black and White, Black 2, and White 2. We have 4 games this time around, and this was the first time. It's a very funny story. I'm going to have a lot to talk about this time around, because I actually just beat Pokemon Black, like, a minute ago. I'm not even kidding. That's why I'm recording this as late as I am, because I wanted to wait until I actually had beaten Black before doing anything, before recording this and talking about it. This was actually the first time that Game Freak decided to go for sequels, numbered sequels, as opposed to, they had Black and White, but then they didn't go for Gray, which everyone thought was going to happen, considering that they always did the Pokemon in threes, Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. And this time around, everyone was expecting Pokemon Gray, but no, we got Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, sequels to Black and White, which everyone thought was weird, and I thought was weird too. And actually, when I found out that that was what was going to happen, I didn't like it. To me, it was the same thing as when Mario Galaxy 2 was announced. I didn't like it because, well, I thought it was unfair to every other Pokemon game, right? Like, why didn't any other Pokemon game get sequels, and how come this one does? And after playing the game, I can honestly tell you, I think I kind of understand why. I can say without a doubt, it is probably the best Pokemon story I've ever played. Like, they really focus on story this time around. And it was the only gen that I actually skipped. Not because I didn't want to pick up Black or White, or Black 2 and White 2. I didn't have the money, and I couldn't find the games anywhere. And anytime I did find them, I thought they were a little bit overpriced. But I actually just picked up Black and Black 2, which were the versions I wanted anyway. I went to too many games this year, and that's where I picked them up. And I didn't get around to playing them until very recently. I still haven't played Black 2 yet, but I can't wait to do it after just having finished Pokemon Black 1. It had a fantastic story. It was very interesting to go back to a classic style Pokemon game where it wasn't as easy as Gen 6 is, with how the experience share works and all that. Like, no, I had to go back and do everything on my own accord. And it was difficult, it was a totally difficult journey, but I really liked it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my team here that I'm drawing. As you can see, I drew both trainers, Hilbert and Rosa from Generation 5 Part 2. The reason for that is because I was the male trainer in Pokemon Black, and I plan on being the female trainer in Pokemon Black 2, just to change things up a little bit, because I've never been a female trainer before, and I think that would be interesting to be the female trainer this time around. So, you might notice that I'm the 3 biggest Pokemon in the back. I actually went through the journey with all 3 starters, because I have Black and Black 2. So what I did was I chose Tepig in Black, which is right there. I'm drawing Emboar. I'll get to their names in a bit. And I had to restart the adventure twice, so I could get Oshawott and Snivy. And this was the first time that I actually went through a journey with all... That wasn't Pokemon Yellow, mind you, where I went through with all 3 starter Pokemon, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. We have roll call. Also, again, before we go to the roll call, fun fact, I only caught a total of 9 Pokemon in my playthrough. My 6 Pokemon that are in the party, I might have caught others to trade, but like in my Pokemon Black game, I only have 9 Pokemon. The 6 Pokemon that were part of my team the entire way through, I don't remember what they're called. It's because I skipped on Gen 5 that I don't remember many Pokemon from it. The grass monkey, the grass one, Pansage, I think it is. Please, I hope it's Pansage. Yeah, it is, because the evolved form is Simisage. Even though it's still a Pansage, so whatever. That's not important. Oh no, that's not true. 10 Pokemon. A Woobat. By the way, the Panseer's name is Grass Monkey, literally just Grass Monkey. Here, the screen is black because I was having trouble with my tablet, so I had to restart the software. But I think I don't have problems with it anymore. I might have problems with it one more time. I don't remember, but it's nothing too big. So yeah, Grass Monkey, a Woobat because I needed a Pokemon that could fly. I named it Swoodbat. Shout out to people who watch JonTron. A Heatmore because I need that to complete my Gen 6 Pokedex. And Reshiram. And I caught Reshiram today, and I caught it using, get this, 1 Great Ball. That's all I needed. No other Pokeballs before it, just 1 Great Ball. And that was, I had a laugh when that happened. And I didn't even use Reshiram in the battle against N or Ghetsis. Spoiler alert, I guess. But I didn't use him because I was like, fuck that, no, I want to use my team. And I did. So, okay, roll call. So my first Pokemon from Black was a Tepig, which I named Snout, because I thought it was a cute name, and I like Tepig. So I want to name it something equally cute, Snout. Then we have my Serperior named Spencer. Now then, why I named it Spencer, fun fact, just full of fun facts this time around. I was going to develop, and I kind of still want to, with a few friends of mine, well, a couple, not a few, a couple of friends of mine who are voice actors, an animated series based on the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, and it would be starring nothing but starter Pokemon. It was a Charmander named Xander, a Chikorita named Rita, a Mudkip named Skip, which is why my Swampert is named Skip in Gen 6. What was the one for Cup, the Piplup, Spencer the Snivy, and Shekin the Fennekin. Now, note that Spencer's the only one that doesn't rhyme, and it's because he's a stuck-up son of a bitch that's like super snooty, and I thought that was really fun, so that's why I named him Spencer, in honor of that project that I had a long time ago. Shelly is my Samurott, which I guess doesn't really make sense anymore because it doesn't really have a shell. I guess the shell is on its head, but it's not a female. But so, like, I guess Sheldon would be appropriate, but I'd still name it Shelly anyway. So they all start with the letter S, which I didn't really even pay attention to when I named them, honestly. Except for Shelly. When I named Shelly, I was like, okay, I need a Pokemon. Like, Spencer and Snout both start with S. I need another name that starts with an S. So that's why I have Shelly. And then, also in Black 2, I found out that I could catch a Riolu, which you can't catch in Black at first, I think. So I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Yes, I love Lucario, and I named it Soul. But this is actually Soul number 2, because Soul number 1 is actually in Pokemon X. It's in my Pokemon X game. That was where the Legend of Soul started. So a lot of my Pokemon tend to end up having the same name, even if they are different, and they come from different games. But this is Soul number 2, and yeah, I caught him as a Riolu and leveled him up to Lucario, which I felt really good when I did that, when he evolved. Because he is also another Pokemon that evolves through friendship. Then we have my Gigalith, which I was able to make a Gigalith and not keep as a Boldore because I had Black 2, so I could trade, have it evolve, and then trade back. Named Robert. And a lot of people might not understand why his name is Robert. Well, that's because it's so funny. Well, to me, at least. Its name is Robert because Rocky is Robert's nickname. Rocky is a nickname for people named Robert. So I thought that would be really funny if, like, instead of calling it Rocky, I just named it Robert. So yeah. And my Musharna, which started out as a Muna, named Janie. Um, I don't really want to get into why I named it Janie. But I guess I'll sort of explain it a little bit. Janie is, aside from the fact that it's Muna and my last name is Luna, so of course I'm going to get a Pokemon named that. Um, I named it Janie because that's an acronym for the members of my family. My dad's name starts with a J, my sister's name starts with an A, my name starts with an N, and my mother's name starts with a Y, so Janie. And she was my psychic type. And again, what I love about it was such a like storybook kind of ending for me, because throughout the first half of the journey, Robert, Soul, and Janie sucked. Like, this is probably the worst team I've ever had in my Pokemon training career, because their stats were terrible. They had terrible speed, their defense was shit. And like, thankfully, this is at a time where I know how Pokemon works. Like, otherwise, if I'd played this as a kid, I would have been so confused. Like, why am I losing all the time? This time around, I knew enough so that I wasn't losing too much. I mean, I did lose a few times. Especially to fucking Alessa, the 4th Pokemon gym leader. Her and her goddamn Emolga. Fuck her. But transgressions aside, yes, this team was stat-wise not very good, but Snout, Spencer, and Shelly really brought the team together. You know, like, they were the ones that were really, really just, they were keeping the team together. They were the good Pokemon, and Soul, Robert, and Janie were just there. They didn't do much because they couldn't. And so they went really underleveled for a lot of the gyms. And when I got the lucky egg and the experience share, all that changed, because Janie actually ended up being not only my best Pokemon, but also my highest leveled one, because at first, she was the worst. She was the worst Pokemon. She was underleveled, she couldn't do anything. But then with the experience share and the lucky egg, I got her all the way up to level 62. Like, freaking, like 8 levels higher than what she normally should be. So, yeah, that was a good show. But, I don't know. It was a very, I feel like the end game was certainly the most memorable part about the game. Again, Snout, Shelly, and Spencer were like my team players at first, and then it went the opposite way. Soul, Janie, and Robert were the ones that were like wrecking house in the end game. I only had to face Getsus once. I lost to N once as well, and that really got my goat. So yeah, it's needless to say that I think my Pokemon Black experience was a really fun one to talk about, considering that it's the most recent one, and I can't wait to get into Black 2. But I don't know, I might be getting into Sun and Moon before Black 2, considering how soon Sun and Moon comes out. It comes out tomorrow. So, yeah. I might be getting it sooner than I thought, which I guess is good. So, let's talk a little bit about the piece. This took me 6 hours. This was by far the longest piece I did, and I also think it is the nicest piece I did as well. I love the line work. I didn't want to mess it up with the coloring of it, so I tried my damnedest to get it right. You know, like, I didn't, even though I was tired, I tried to not like fluke it, and I didn't try to like half-ass it or anything. I really wanted to do a good job this time around, even if I did run into a few walls. And I'm doing a kind of a different coloring technique this time around. Instead of using watercolor brushes, I'm just grabbing three different colors that I'm going to use, and then putting them together and then blending them. So yeah, I'm basically, it's kind of like a more advanced version of the Ruby and Sapphire art styles. They're not too different, honestly. Like, very, very few things are changing here and there. I think Black 2 had more different of an art style, if that makes any sense. But yeah, oh, gosh, I never realized that moving on to the the art itself, there's not much to talk about. Again, like it's pretty similar to what I did yesterday. Again, I ran into some walls here and there with the coloring, but nothing major, nothing too bad, honestly. Um, my favorite thing that even in this piece is Robert. Like that Gigalith looks, and I've never drawn any of these Pokemon this time around. Have I tried to do Lucario? I don't know. I don't think I have. But yeah, Samurot's snout was giving me trouble, as was Lucario's. But I fixed them, and I think that they look pretty decent. Like I'm not gonna say that they look great, but the sketch that I had earlier, if you notice, it was terrible. Like it was just flat out bad. Um, but I did everything in my power to just like make this piece as good as I could. Like the trainer stance. Now the trainer stance are different, and the what I named my trainer this time around. I realized I didn't really talk about that last time. What did I name? I think I named it my name in Diamond. This time around, I didn't name it my name. I named it Aoi. I named him Aoi, and Aoi, not it means blue in Japanese, but the reason I named him that is because he's a character again from my animated series, and I plan on naming the female trainer in Black 2, uh, Kudai, another character from my animated series. And, I don't want to get into that too much in case you're wanting to watch it, the two of you who are wanting to watch it, because that comes into play later. So here I'm doing something that I hadn't done before, but that I do tend to do a lot. I colored the background green so that I could know where I need to color white, because I haven't really been doing that with my other pieces. But this time around, I feel like I really needed it because there is a lot of white. And here I'm fixing Lucario's eye because it looked derpy as shit earlier. But yeah, the problem that I had previously with the blacks not selecting properly, I fixed this time around, so I don't have too much of a problem this time around. Um, but yeah, I'm just there's always a problem whenever I'm doing the drawings. That wasn't the case in the first two drawings, but every time nowadays it's like I'm missing a line. I'm missing an outline every single damn time, and I don't know why that is. It's annoying. But yeah, I'll just look at how I color this Gigalith. Ugh. So in love with this Gigalith. At this point, I'm just watching with you guys. I'm not even like commenting on anything because there's not much to comment. I can't wait to play Black 2, and then the reason that I wanted to finish Black to begin with so that I could transfer my Pokemon from Gen 3 up to Gen 6, because I'm trying to complete the Gen 6 Pokedex, and I'm only like 38 Pokemon away or something. Um, and they're Pokemon that I have on my previous games. Like, for example, Reshiram is a Pokemon I need, which thankfully I caught today, because you have to, which is great. Uh, but yeah, like other Pokemon from like Gen 3 that I need in Gen 6, because I couldn't get them in Gen 6. Just transfer them up, and I can't do that without finishing the game first. So I want to at least finish Black. But I don't think I'll be. And I wanted to finish the Pokedex before Sun and Moon came out, but I don't think that's going to be possible. I'll be very short, but I will do it eventually, because I plan on doing it for Gen 7 as well. So yep, never thought I'd actually be catching them all, but here I am. I like how Snout is kind of like hugging both Spencer and Robert. I think it's cute. It's a testament to that. it's a big shame because Janie is actually a really she has really good special attack, but I didn't have anything that took advantage of that because I had her moveset was Zen Headbutt, and that is a physical attacking psychic move, which isn't the best. So, yeah. Um, Synchronoise, which only affects Pokemon of the same typing, and Psychic is not weak to Psychic, so good. Moonlight, because, well, Moonlight, and it's very situational. It heals, but it's very, very situational. And its best move, honestly, was Shadow Ball. That was its best move, and I couldn't get you can't get the TM for Psychic until you beat the game, which sucks. Otherwise, she would have been so OP with that stab, Psychic. And here I'm adding the highlights, and in a bit I'll be using the blending brush to give it the final touches, which I think really, really make this piece shine. I wanted to do that with yesterday's art, but it wasn't coming out right. But this time around, I think it's pretty damn good. Don't want to be too proud of myself, but you know. Yep. Just coloring those. The flames on Embor were not the easiest thing to do. Here I'm using the smudge tool, I think it is, and that helped a little bit make it look more natural, those flames and all that. But it was not easy. I had a lot of fun drawing this, honestly, too. It had a lot. It made me realize I love drawing like rocky Pokemon. And that's something else that I didn't touch on. I've never trained a rock type Pokemon before, so training a Gigalith was something very, very interesting for me. I really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 would do again. But yeah, here I'm just like giving the finishing touches. I think this makes it look more like a Sugimori drawing. And I really, really, really like this drawing. Just having both trainers there from both Black 1 and Black 2 is very charming to me. I added some finishing touches to the drawing after I stopped recording, but it was just little flourishes here and there to make it look a little better. But yeah, again, not too much to say. I thought I was going to go on for longer about a lot of other stuff, but I just had so much to say about my team because since this is the most recent team I've had, I could just talk about it more. And again, just the book endings of 3 of them being really good and then being super underleveled, and then the other 3 being terrible at first and then being the best in the end, I think is super funny, and it's great. Like even the shadow looks pretty good, in my opinion. But yeah. Anyway, this is the finished drawing, you guys. I hope to see you tomorrow for Gen 6, the final drawing before I take a break and before Sun and Moon comes out. So I'll see you guys then.